I want us to have an open marriage.
Those were the words of my husband to me, his wife, the mother of his child.
Picture a penthouse apartment, 40 floors up, white marble, gold on everything. Floor-to-ceiling glass with a city that never stops moving right outside. That was my home. Beautiful, but cold. And I learned the hard way that those two things are not the same. My name is Michelle. This is the story of how I gave everything I had to a man who never noticed, survived it, and came out the other side more myself than I have ever been. I met Christian at a finance conference. Polished, confident, the kind of man who had never once been told no and wore it like a second skin. His family ran Sinclair Capital, a private equity firm his father built. Christian inherited it at 29. By the time I met him, he was 32 and the most talked about man in every room he entered. I was a financial analyst. No connections, no inheritance. Just sharp. Quietly, consistently sharp. And Christian noticed that at first. We married 18 months later. I moved into his world. The penthouse, the galas, the dinners where every woman was somebody's wife and every husband talked over her. I told myself it would be different for us because Christian knew my worth. I believed that. The first year was fine. He was building an empire. I was building alongside him, running models, restructuring portfolios, doing work that quietly made the firm millions. Christian would present it in boardrooms, accept the handshakes, and I would sit 2 seats down and smile. I told myself that was just how it worked, that he knew, that knowing was enough. Then I had Zara, and everything became clear. I saw Christian walk past us in the mornings like we were furniture. I saw him answer his phone mid-sentence while I was talking. I told him Zara made her first sound, and he said, "Oh yeah," without looking up. Not cruel, never cruel. Worse, he was indifferent. And indifference from the person who is supposed to choose you every day is its own kind of damage. There was one person in Christian's world who saw me clearly from the start. His mother, Maggie. Maggie Sinclair says exactly what she thinks and means every word of it. She built herself up before the family money came and she never forgot what that felt like. She adored me and she was never quiet about it. I remember a dinner. The family lawyer, his wife, all of us at a table with flowers that cost more than my first month's rent. The lawyer's wife said something kind about my work. And Christian said, and I am quoting, "She is good at the detail work." Detail work for the woman who had just restructured his entire West Africa portfolio and made the firm $47 million. Maggie put her fork down. She looked at her son and said clearly, "Do not ever describe her work that way again." I loved her for that. And I felt something heavy in my chest because I needed his mother to defend me at my own dinner table. That said everything. Around this time, I met Victor. He was with Meridian Group, a rival firm, in Lagos for a boardroom presentation. After the meeting, he stopped me in the corridor. He said my market analysis was exceptional, that he had read 3 reports on that sector that year and mine was the only one that got it right. Simple words, but he said them looking directly at me, not past me, at me. I thought about that for days. How little it took, how much it meant, what it said about how long I had been living without it. Then I found out about the woman from the Singapore office. Not dramatically, just the way a woman knows. A shift, a call that went quiet when I walked in, a weekend that did not add up. I did not confront him. I was not ready to say it out loud. Once you say a thing, it becomes real. So I went to Maggie. I sat in her kitchen and before I said a single word, she looked at me and said, "How long has he been seeing her?" 3 months, I said. Maybe 4. She was quiet. And Maggie being quiet is its own kind of thunder. Then she said, "What do you want, sweetheart? Not what looks right. What do you actually want?" I
said I wanted to feel like I mattered. Like my presence meant something, like I was not invisible in my own marriage. She covered my hand with both of hers. Stop waiting for my son to wake up, she said. Start deciding what your life looks like. Then Christian made it simple for me. One Sunday morning, Nanny had taken Zara to the park. Just the two of us. He put his phone face down, which he never did, and folded his hands. I could see he had been rehearsing. He said he thought we should restructure our arrangement. Remain married for Zara, for the farm, for continuity, while being free to pursue other connections. An open marriage. I looked at him. I said, you want to stay married so you have a home to come back to. A wife who looks good at dinners. A mother for your child. Without the inconvenience of being a husband. He said nothing. Because I was right. I told him I needed a few days. Left the room calmly. Closed the bedroom door. Called Maggie.
She listened. Then she said, he sat across from the woman who gave him a child, runs his numbers, holds this family together, and asked for an open marriage. Yes, I said. And what are you going to say? I am going to say no. Not just to the open marriage, to all of it. I am leaving Maggie. She did not hesitate. Good, she said. And you are family to me. You and that baby are mine. That does not change. I cried after I hung up. The good kind. The kind that means something is finally over. I went back to that apartment one last time. Monday morning. I dressed carefully. Not for him. Because I wanted to feel completely like myself. I walked into the kitchen and he looked up. And I could see that something about me was different, even if he could not name it. He asked if I had thought about his proposal. I said yes. He asked what my answer was. I said, I want a divorce. He looked like I had thrown cold water on him. A man who had wanted an exit for months, and yet watching me walk through the door. He looked panicked. He said I was being reactive. Think about Zara, he said. Everything I do is for Zara, I told him, including this. I will not raise my daughter in a house where her mother is invisible. I will not let her grow up thinking love is supposed to feel like this. He said he was sorry, that he had not realized, that he did not want to lose me. I believe he meant it. I do. But sorry does not rewind 3 years. And sometimes the most honest thing you can say is, I believe you. And it is still too late. I picked up my bag, and Zara's bag, and I walked out. No raised voices. The door closed quietly behind me. That quiet click was the loudest sound of my life. Maggie took us in without a second thought. Her home, her kitchen, her love that asked for nothing in return. 2 weeks later, Meridian Group called. Victor's firm. They had been watching my work for months. They wanted me for director of strategy, full decision-making authority. My name on it. I accepted before they finished the sentence. Victor and I did not rush. It built the way real things do. Slowly, honestly. A conversation neither of us planned to still be having an hour later. The kind of man who remembers what you said weeks ago because he was still thinking about it. He saw me, every part, and he never looked away. The divorce finalized 8 months later. Christian paid what he owed, and he started showing up for Zara. Actually showing up more than he ever had when we were together. People change when the cost of not changing finally lands. Maggie came to my director announcement in a new blazer and told me not to dare make her cry in it. She stood in that room with Zara on her hip and cheered louder than anyone. That woman
was never just my mother-in-law. She was mine. 1 year after I walked out, I stood on a rooftop terrace at the launch event for the first major acquisition I had closed as director. Golden hour. The city spread below me. That light that only lasts 20 minutes, but while it is there, makes everything look exactly right. Christian still lives in that penthouse. I drove past it once, not on purpose. I looked up at all that glass and gold and felt nothing heavy. Just the quiet satisfaction of someone who left a place that was never warm enough and found somewhere she could breathe. My name is Michelle Okonkwo, Director of Strategy, Mother of Zara. At long last, exactly who I was always supposed to be. The weight of gold is only a burden when you are carrying it for someone else. When it is truly yours, it does not weigh anything at all.
If you watched this video to the end, that means you enjoyed the story. Thanks for your support. You can enjoy this type of story and better ones here on this channel because we post relatable, interesting stories here every week. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and drop a comment or feedback. Thank you, fam.